In the previous episode, I arrived in Tashkent, Uzbekistan and had a great time exploring the city, even though it was short, because in this episode, we will be heading to Bukhara. It was 6 June of 2024 and we were now at the Tashkent Northern train station, about to take the high-speed Afrosiyop train to Bukhara. We had to buy the tickets a month in advance because ticket pre-sales sell out pretty quickly. We had to either do that or buy tickets at the physical counter, which had a high chance of not being able to get one, because so many people go there. So we got through security check, entered the station, and waited for the train to let us board. Once on board, the train started to leave Tashkent station very soon. We received a meal pack each, with some bread and powdered drinks. Because of the unique shape of Uzbekistan's borders, thanks to Stalin, the journey from Tashkent to Bukhara was not in a straight line. It had to curve southwards before hitting the border with Kazakhstan, then curve westwards again before hitting the border with Tajikistan. Yeah, this corridor is relatively narrow, while the areas further west were more wide and expansive. Here's a view of the outside. In the middle of the journey, the train passed by and stopped by at the few cities like Jizakh, Samarkand, and Navoy. Here's also a Lure review. Pretty clean, pretty nice. And here's the view outside, again, the train traveling at full speed. Finally, we arrived at Bukhara station. It was really hot outside. It was 35 degrees Celsius and the highest temperature that day would reach 37. Summer had only just begun and it was this hot in Uzbekistan already. Like, the last time I'd been this hot, I was in the UAE. Even temperatures in Singapore rarely reach 35 degrees Celsius or above. Luckily, the temperatures during the night will be very cool, dropping to aircon temperature around 90 degrees Celsius. Finally arrived and it's so hot. Summer just set in. So we started heading towards our hotel from Bukhara station, which was not exactly situated in Bukhara city. It was located in the city of Kogon, 12 kilometers outside the Bukhara city. I mean, yes, Kogon used to be called Yangi Bukhara, which means New Bukhara, but it was located relatively far away from Bukhara city, unlike Tashkent and Samarkand, whose train stations are all located inside the city for convenience. Yangi Bukhara was built by the Russians during the Tsarist era, and the train station continued to serve residents of Bukhara even till today, where the high-speed Afrosiyop train passes through. So back to the video, we arrived at our hotel in the city center of Bukhara, very close to old Bukhara with all those madrasas and open squares nearby. Most of the buildings around these regions are not tall, and one can easily see the horizon with little to no skyscraper blocking significant views. However, it was very hot during the day, so we just decided to rest in our aircon hotel rooms first. We just took a shower and napped here. In the later afternoon, we got out to explore the area around us. Bukhara has historically been on the Silk Road and a lot of trade passed through the city. It was conquered by various empires, Khanates, and Emirates, and the religion of Islam arrived in Uzbekistan as early as the 8th century, when the Arab Caliphate expanded their borders, first through Persia, then to Central Asia. It was also around this time when the Arabs and the Chinese had contact with each other. The western frontiers of the Tang dynasty of China reached the eastern Fergana Valley in modern-day Uzbekistan, and and that's where the first and only direct military confrontation between the Chinese and Abbasids took place. When the Turkic peoples arrived a few centuries later and began settling permanently in Central Asia, they inherited the Islamic traditions and practices and also built many mosques, madrasas, and everything that still stand tall in many places around Uzbekistan today. Bukhara was the cultural center and political capital of many small and big states that existed back then, and it's great that so much of Bukhara's historical sites and buildings survived centuries of war, conquest, and everything, still standing today. These places are simply majestic. Near sunset, I went inside this historical site called the Ark of Bukhara, dating back to the 5th century when this area used to be populated by Bactrians, Sogdians, and Tocharians. It's impressive how this place withstood the sun, wind, and rain for centuries, although not everything survived. But first, we walked through a few museums which has so many types of calligraphy, which was beautiful. Even this one that's golden, sewn on fabric and in the shape of a ship. Some other exhibitions displayed what prehistorical biodiversity there used to be here. Then others showcase the history and changing borders of old empires that ruled this region. Fun fact, during the Russian conquest of Central Asia, they directly annexed large areas of land but kept a few lords and emirs as puppet states, most of them within the territory of modern-day Uzbekistan. The three khanates of Bukhara, Khiva, and Kokand centered around modern-day Kokon, but it was also directly annexed in Russia in 1876, were semi-independent Russian protectorates that all survived until the Soviets took over in 1920, outliving the Russian Empire by 3 years. Outside the museums, there was a wide open area that was overlooking the entire city of Bukhara. The sun was almost setting and the scenery was awesome, beautiful, beyond words description. Around the open area are a few ruins that apparently used to be tombs and mausoleums. Above the description of the ruins, there's a glass that contained the outline of what scholars think was likely the shape of the original building, the original tombs and mausoleums. Walking around a bit more, we stayed until we caught the sunset over the Ark of Bukhara. We managed to watch the sun diminish over the horizon from a circular disk into a dot, then disappearing below. Sunset atop the Ark of Bukhara. Totally worth it. Yeah, the front camera exposure is a bit... Yeah, I adjust the angle like this. The cotton candy clouds. Yeah, and this. Very nice. We also tried to get on higher ground to catch a second sunset, but we were a bit slow and didn't manage to. But that was okay. We did manage to catch it once, and that was sufficient. Made our journey here completely worth it. After leaving the Ark of Bukhara, we walked back, passing by some squares and madrasas, buying a Soviet ice cream on the way that only cost 3,000 Uzbekistan som, which is 33 Singapore cents or 24 US cents. We came across a restaurant where the staff was dancing in the open with customers and passersby. The atmosphere was very lively. The people are just really in a good mood and dancing and singing daily, living like every day is a celebration. We walked towards the main street and were eating at another place that was recommended by users from Xiaohongshu. We were eating at Labi Hovuz, where we had lagman and dry-fried noodles, as well as many barbecue meat called shashlik, including beef, chicken, and lamb. After finishing our meal, we walked around the park next to the restaurant, passing by an instrument shop and also a tomb in marketplace on our way back to our hotel. Turns out, tombs are really common in marketplaces and malls around Bukhara. People simply just set up shop beside and around these. Yeah. The next day, we woke up early to catch the sunrise. It was 5 a.m. and we climbed onto the roof of our hotel, looking to the east and watching the color of the sky turn orange gold. The sun had risen. The only slight problem was that the horizon was blocked by just one slightly tall building, which was probably a sports center or a mall or a bazaar, well, whatever it was. But we still managed to catch the sunrise, which is good. We then went outside and walked around the main streets towards Chord Minor and also to a park that had a statue of Nasreddin Hoja on a donkey. Nasreddin is a folklore character found in many Muslim and Turkic cultures. And his story spread east to the Uyghur language, where he was known as Efendi, from the Ottoman Turkish Efendi, originally ultimately from Greek Afenti, then into the Chinese language as Afanti. After that, we walked back to our hotel and rested until checkout time, after which we will be heading back to the train station to take the high-speed rail to Samarkand. Bukhara was a great place to visit, and honestly, a one-day trip was just about enough to explore the interesting places. Not too long and not too short, it was perfect. Catch more of my adventures and journeys in the next episode, so I'll see you all. Please stay tuned for the next video.